Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. We are continuing our foray into the game powered by the apocalypse known as Infinite Galaxies. This is part of Star Wars Saturdays, which is an ongoing anthology campaign where each month I take a different RPG and either reskin it, remix it, or just say, hey, this is Star Wars. And none of them have been the officially licensed Star Wars RPGs of the past. They've all been mostly small press or indie tabletop RPGs. Infinite Galaxies is designed by one person, and Rory, sorry, I did not have the PDF up on my off screen, so I forgot. Sorry, Rory. It is a space opera. It is very Star Wars with the serial numbers filed off. I have renamed one of the Psi, as it is called, PSI, into the Jedi because it was very Jedi. And we're playing in Star Wars. The time setting is after the Return of the Jedi, but not quite to the point of Mandalorian in a canon movie, canon and TV, because Mandalorian timeline, meaning that the New Republic is growing, but that there are still Imperial remnants. I also borrow from the Legends timeline, where there is a person known as the Warlord Zinj, the Warlord of the Empire, and he is a large Imperial remnant, and this game is taking place in that area. In last session, we introduced our characters, and the three of you met with an old friend of Dodd's named Uncle Spencer, who told you about a mining operation he had set up and how it had been pushed out by a bunch of Imperials. You guys decided, hey, let's take this job to help out Uncle Spencer and blow up the Imperial facility. But you found out that the Imperials had driven him out because they had found some ruins on Ifis 4 that piqued some interest. Simultaneously, you guys heard rumors that a clone named going by the name of Vortex that Phoenix knew was the assassin, a recent assassin of the Makam Te's imperial governor, and that the imps were looking for him on planet. We ended the session with you having contacted Vortex and said, hey, we're going to leave the planet. We'll circle back for you. And he said, I'm on my way. You then saw him on a speeder bike racing towards your ship as you tried to take off. And he was being harried by TIE fighters. Being harried by TIE fighters while you're in a speeder bike is very dangerous. So, are there any events from previous session that I forgot to mention in our previously on monologue? Covered it? Okay, cool. Let's do a quick reminder of our characters. We're going to start from the left-hand side of the character keeper, heading towards the right. If you could introduce yourself as a person human and then tell us about your character, that would be great. Keith, kick us off.
Keith, I use the he, him pronouns. I am playing the aforementioned Dad Badu, which is the Jack playbook in Infinite Galaxies. An interesting playbook in that it covers some sort of thematically related things, but different. So it gave me some room to envision her, and she's a Rhodian, as a bit of a Han Solo and Hondo Onaka cross of chaotic neutral good chaos, like it's somewhere in there, mainly out to experience the galaxy to its fullest, and in any legal or quasi-legal, I would say, gray market sort of level of things, and various different adventures that has led her to this motley company that she is currently adventuring with.
I think it's like a Jedi and a clone trooper walk into a bar and Dot's already there kind of thing. Yeah. And Ash, please introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Yeah, I'm Anders, he, him. I'm playing Lorne Volnau, also he, him. Lorne is a Jedi, He's about 100 years old. He was out on the fringe when Order 66 was triggered and was away for the whole rise of the Empire and the rebellion. He's recently returned, and he's looking, among other things, he's looking for old Jedi temples and the like. Yeah. I think that's mostly it.
Excellente. And then rounding out the trio, Stephen.
Hi, my name is Steven. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm playing Clone Trooper CT-8054, also known from as Codename Phoenix, whose pronouns are also he, him. And Phoenix is a clone trooper, participated in Order 66 to exterminate the Jedi, but primarily as a medic. His main task is to heal the troops up, to get them back into the fight. So he was doing, triage there. In order to, because he's a medic, he started taking metabolic tonic as he started to feel the age, and it was something that he was basically experimenting with to make sure that he could keep more troops on the field. And then clone troopers kind of got phased out, but this metabolic tonic extended his lifespan, so he doesn't feel as much of the aches and pains of old age, because clone troopers, of course, have an accelerated age cycle, and he's very old for a clone trooper. And at the same time that his immune system was bolstered by this and was able to affect the chip implant, it's still present, but it's been degraded because of his body's kind of worked against it.
Nice. I love the term metabolic tonic, which is straight from Infinite Galaxies. Great. There's some great gear name in this game that I just love it. It's great. So, as I mentioned in our setup, you guys were aboard and this is where my notes are. Cool. Did you name your ship? Not to derail the game.
Named it, and I don't know that we ever actually did.
Okay. So don't want to derail the game because ship names can take forever. But you're aboard your ship, right? If I remember correctly, you were at the starport. You boarded. Was it your ship or is it his ship? It's his. It's Uncle's ship, right? You guys have met with Uncle in his ship, and his ship was not much of a ship itself. It's made to haul freight, so it's got these arms that can attach around a giant container and haul it around. So, the reason that you haven't named your ship is that I haven't named his ship, and it's on me again. Great. You point your finger at somebody, there's a bunch of other fingers pointing back at you, it turns out, as Stuart Smalley once told us. Yeah. So you see the speeder bike, and he's in a bit of trouble. Uncle says, "Oh, wow. That's not good. Oh, well, too bad about your friend Vortex." He looks a bit nervous.
Who's the pilot?
It's the pilot. He was assuming he was, because I imagine he is like at the pilot seat, but I would imagine Dodd are a better pilot than him and could probably easily kick him out of the seat if you were conniving enough.
So Phoenix hops up and says, "We've got to get him. We've got to get to him. Open the cargo area. We'll scoop him up. And I'll hold off the TIE fighters providing covering fire."
Okay.
Oh. I have a move.
Do
Does that
you
matter?
now?
I do.
I love when you
Reposition.
move.
When you bark commands to move your allies into better position, roll plus wisdom. And I gain reserve and can move allies out of danger.
Oh, neat. Well, when you bark commands to move your allies into better positions, roll plus whiz.
My whiz is 1. That's an 8.
Nice.
So that's 2 reserve.
2 reserve. Stop share. Okay. With 2 reserve, that means that you can spend reserve to immediately reposition an ally out of danger. Wow, one move that just solves the whole problem. That's insane. Yes, we'll call this the Grungy Gundark is the name of the ship. Thank you very much for that. It was an insult that Spence thought was amusing, so he kept it. What does that look like when Phoenix uses this particular move to reposition folks?
Oh yeah, that was literally him just barking out orders. Like, you get in the seat, we're gonna meet him, I'll hold off covering fire.
Sweet.
Just basically ignoring Uncle Spencer. Yeah.
He will start lifting off. As he does, you're in communication with Vortex, and he's going to make a beeline for your ship, for the Grungy Gundark, trying to get inside. You've repositioned him. He knows where to go. Lorne, what are you doing as you see these TIE fighters are just going to keep tacking? One of them's got the little thing. He's like dialing it in. He's trying to get the speeder in. He's firing across the speeder. There are blaster bolts that are big red beams that are across the spaceport. One takes out a portion of a building. The building top starts to fall as the people are running out of the way. Lorne, what are you doing?
I am going to use my move object move here. Basically, just standing in the back of the cockpit, one hand to the side of my head, closed eyes, and stretching out my other hand. And I think I don't have the raw power to just crash a TIE fighter. But maybe I can nudge it a little bit, just like push it out of the way so that it misses a blast or gets out of alignment a little.
Okay. So move object, when you telekinetically move an object you can see, roll plus wisdom and spend 1 reserve for a small object or 2 reserve a large object. This is one of those 2 moves tied together because you started the session previously with building reserve. You started with 3 reserve. So let's have you go ahead and roll plus wisdom.
Before you roll,
Yes.
you're just nudging it, but could you nudge it so that its laser hits something more beneficial if you roll well?
Ooh,
That would
let's
be
see.
that would be super cool.
Says you move the object. As an attack, move object deals your damage. Add +2 for a large object and has near range. I guess that's the thing in that case.
It certainly can be.
Yeah, cool. So my width is +2. I spend 2 reserve because I think a TIE fighter counts as a large object. And I get a 7. So it's not a miss.
Yay! It is a mixed success. This one's a little unclear, like any success. So whether you rolled a 10 or not, I think it's the exact same thing. There does not appear to be a benefit for a 10 plus on move object that I can see.
Unless if this counts as an attack, I guess it plays into
As an attack, move object deals your damage. You are a D8 as a Jedi, and +2 for large objects. So roll a D8. This is damage you're doing what? As Keith, you had the idea of redirecting it so that it could shoot something beneficial. What were you suggesting?
I'm trying to like, I don't know if it's shooting because there's two TIE fighters, right? Like
Correct.
that would
Which
be
should the
a,
other one?
I mean, that's the first thing I think of, but I'm wondering, like, I don't know if there's something on the ground, like it hits some kind of machine, it then launches up a cloud of smoke, and now they can't see where they're going, and it's cover for vortex, or like,
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool. Roll your damage. D8 plus 2.
That's a 7.
Wow. That's pretty damaging. Yeah, I think that is going to take out the other. So in typical TIE fighter fashion, he fires and I think he hits part of a ship that is in flight, and it moves away because he re-aimed it effectively, and that ship goes, and the other TIE fighter slams right into it. I love the camera angle of TIE fighter, looking out his thing where he raises his hands as ineffectively before crashing into object. Then you cut away to see explosion of thing and part of ship, and ship will go down. And then that TIE fighter has to break off, and per the reposition, you successfully do it. Phoenix, is this a thing where you think the speeder bike, like he has to jump off of the speeder bike? Is he actually coming in with the speeder bike and like doing the sideways Akira thing where the speeder bike slams up into the gangway? How do you think he is able to get onto the grungy Gundark?
So it depends on how well the piloting is. But as we come in, if obviously it would be best if he could just ride right into the cargo bay, but that's going to be tough. If he has to jump, I'm going to be right there to help with him. Um, so, do you want me to just narrate what happens?
Go for it.
Sweet. So basically, we see the Gundark kind of tilt a little bit, and the speeder bike comes up, and it's just racing through, and we can see, it's overheating as he's pushed it to its limits, and he stands up, kind of balances on that speeder bike and takes a flying leap as he gets close to the Gundark, and I reach down to grab a hold of his outstretched hand.
Nice. He slaps it, and I have stuck a new pick in for Vortex. If you've seen Rebels, I hope it doesn't bother you that I use that, but I like the look of that character. He looks different enough as a clone from Phoenix that I thought that would be okay, and he does look old enough, because the previous picture I tried to doctor up was taking Echo and adding a cyber eye on him, and I'm like, he looks so young. So yes, Uncle Spencer is flying, so he flies solidly, and he's screaming, they're going to come after us. They have a Star Destroyer in orbit. This is a very bad idea. I don't recommend it. Maybe we just drop him off at some nice place, someplace safe.
And I think as I pull Vortex on board and hit the button to close the ramp, I'm like, go, go, go.
Okay.
I think in response to Uncle Spencer, like, I'm going to explain that part of the plan was they're supposed to come after us. Like, we're drawing forces now from the ruins, and now the ruins are going to be safe. We're going to effectively hide in the lion's den. Like, just you remember where I learned that gambit from, don't you, Uncle? And kind of give him a meaningful look of like, yeah,
I think it's a little too late to fly casual.
I learned it from watching you.
Sweet. Are you in? You're trying to. It sounds like you're trying to talk him into just getting the hell out of Dodge, right?
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to convince him that follow my plan, because it seems like originally his plan was forget Vortex, we're going to go to the ruins that we wanted to do, and Phoenix convinced him that is not what we're going to do. But I feel like the orders got him to get Vortex, but he's still a bit of a fence sitter. Is like, is this really what we want to do?
Exactly. So why don't you negotiate? That's the basic move for entering into a risky bargain. You stating, what are you offering? Like, it sounds a little bit like you're offering that relationship you have that Dodd and Spence have together, right? Or is there something else?
Let me look at the move to see how.
You bet. It is on B18.
Bring your leverage. Okay. Oh, so it is necessary mean, I think I am leveraging that relationship, but also like, I feel like it's a three-part thing. Like, hey, we go way back. We work together. Also, I do think this is safety, and you want safety. Like, I'm serious that they're all going to leave there to try to find us where we're hiding where they just left. Uh, so I do think it's the best plan to save his own hide, which is certainly something he's concerned about.
He is. Let's see it.
So charisma, I think I moved that up. Yes, wow, that was great. Lowered my wisdom. Enhance my charisma.
Who needs wisdom?
I mean, we all had it at one point.
You were all super wise.
We all dumbed down a little bit then. Oh, an 11.
Delightful. Okay, on negotiate on any success, your negotiating partner will state what they want in return. You must agree to these terms. The deal is off, and there is no. It's interesting. It's the second move we've looked at that doesn't have anything special for. Oh, that's right. Any success and then partial success. There's lesser from the full. Okay,
Yeah.
It's just the way it's written. I have to get used to it.
It is written a little strangely. Like usually it gives you on any success you get a little thing, and I don't know, full success it's better. But this is like the reverse. So yeah, it's sort of
Occasionally, it does say complete success such as for analyze, defend,
yeah,
and defy. But the default seems fight actually has a complete success. Okay, sorry, just cycling through and understanding the way that things are written, and so he does the thing. He's definitely going to say, okay, but we're still going to Ifis 4, right? We're just he starts angling up, and you guys are leaving the atmosphere as that TIE fighter banks around and is most definitely coming for you before he's going to be able to hide anywhere. I don't have any turrets on this thing. It's just a hauler.
Ifis 4 is where the ruins are, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I don't have any turrets on this. I mean, you saw that Lauren can use their own cannons against them. You don't need your own turrets.
I hope he does whatever he did. Well, if that was coming at us, you see the little red dot on the sonar that he points out on one of the readouts.
And just because we might end up with dramatic irony, I will put a hand on his shoulder and say, have I ever let you down before?
Yes, that's exactly the statement we need at this very moment. I love it. So the TIE fighter, I think, have I ever let you down? That's when one of the blaster bolts like skims across the top of the Gundark and everything shakes for a second, and he looks up at you nervously, wipes his face, and he gets back down on the whatever it's called that they hold. I can't joystick. It's not joystick, but like the
Yoke?
Throttle.
Yoke.
Yeah.
Throttle. There we go. Yoke and throttle. That's the thing. Phoenix. Vortex says, thank you, brother.
Sure thing. You seem to be managing to get yourself into a lot of trouble.
Well, frying pan into the fire, it looks like. Sorry if we all die because of me.
It is what it is. I mean, we'll be fine.
Lorne, the TIE fighter has dialed you guys in. You're a bigger target. You're not moving as fast as a speeder bike. If you don't do something, this ship is going to be taking some serious damage. What would you like to do? Oh, it looks like you don't have much reserve. Oh no. Maybe this is a bad plan. This is great.
I cannot move the TIE fighter, but are we like flying? We're flying quite close to the ground, right?
Yeah, he started to go up, and then this TIE fighter came and he ducked back down. So I think now he's weaving in between spires of Makamte out of the spaceport and now heading over the city itself in hopes that some of the speeder traffic and buildings will give him a little bit of cover. This TIE fighter's gone up and is just like flying while angling slightly down and just firing down at him, regardless of all the people that are put in danger, because Imperials.
Yeah, yeah. I don't quite think I can. Wait, did my move disappear?
Did it? I still see it. Deflection?
Yeah. Sorry. I got confused about the package. Like, sorry. Yeah. Um. Well, the only thing I can think of that I could use the force for at this point would be to like try to launch something at the TIE fighter. Maybe that could work. Like pull down if there's like it has to be something small, so it can't be like a huge thing. But
Mm-hmm.
if there's like I don't know, like
A droid?
power or power line or something, like
Uh-huh.
shifted enough that it gets in the way of the TIE.
Sure. That sounds amazing. Let's see you pull that off.
Yeah, let's see me do that absolutely with no risk of failure.
Yeah.
I'm spending my reserve and I get a 10. So that's
Wow.
fine.
Okay, so you're able to move object and you want to use it to deal your damage.
Yeah. So now it's just the D8 because it's not a large object. But that's an 8. So,
Wow. That is extremely unlikely, but the force works in interesting ways. I think it's a thing where you whip the wire and it twists around the aperture that connects to one of the wings, the big wings, and it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't harm it per se. It just happens to throw it off kilter. And when there's a moment where it boom, it yanks part of the building that was connected to, and then the building throws it off balance and it swings around like a little bit like a yo-yo and just slams right into uh like a big speeder double decker bus kind of thing and just smashes into it and explodes as the Gundar continues over Makamte's capital city and then rises up that we don't have clearance anymore. I'm just gonna go for it. And he is heading out into the atmosphere. Vortex says, we need to be careful. They've got gravity well generators on that Star Destroyer above.
I think before that, Vortex, sees what just happened with the TIE fighter and kind of looks over at me with like a raised eyebrow, and I'm like, some of us still follow the old generals.
Oh man, that's right. He would see that. So, what does Lorne have? An obvious like lightsaber because in Infinite Galaxies, because this is a psi, not a. You have a kyber crystal which you've invested part of your id, and the crystal can be in any state, but you can put it in a weapon. You can put it in armor. Meaning you have flexibility. You could totally have a lightsaber. You could have some other crazy fantasy melee weapon or armor. Where do you think Lorne's kyber crystal is embedded? I'm really curious.
Definitely a lightsaber.
Cool. Awesome.
Um, and I think I described it last time. Like it's hanging by his side, but it's kind of like hidden
That's
in the
right.
folds of his robes.
That's right.
So
In the bar, we had that
yeah,
conversation. Sorry.
so he's not actively hiding it, but it's not like always visible either.
Cool. Yeah, you explained that. Hey, sometimes we follow the old ways. Vortex looks at Lauren, looks back at you. He doesn't hold a grudge.
I think that whenever he looks away at Lorne, my hand reaches down to my blaster to see, what's going to happen.
Mhm.
And he was like, he doesn't hold a grudge. And I'm like, not if you don't.
I'm done taking orders.
And I pat Vortex's shoulder and think the force. Ooh, oh, I'm trying to come up with some good words of wisdom there. The light side knows those who ally themselves with it.
I still don't know why we all turned. Sorry, General.
You did not choose to turn, so there is no debt.
Up front, Dodd, you see as the Gundark heads out into the inky black of space that there is this huge Imperial triangle of a Star Destroyer that's trying to move into position. And the ship starts to shake a little bit as he says, "Hey, man, I've got to get this plugged in. I'm going to work on the nav if you want to take over the stick." And he moves over to the other seat and pushes his... oh, that's right. He had an astromech, right? So he's gonna help the astromech try to plug in coordinates more quickly to get to Ifis 4. Dodd, he seems to have let you have the comm. Now we have the opportunity for a little bit of our special moves of basic vessel moves. There's a move called evasive action. When piloting a vessel and you quickly avoid danger, you can roll plus speed. So what is speed, you might ask? That is a great question. It is a stat for a ship. We are going to say that the grungy... Wow, that is not even how those letters go. Grungy
I
Gundark.
remember having a picture of the grungy Gondark.
I don't, but you're probably
Okay.
right. We probably did have a picture.
Yeah.
I think someone else shared the picture, if I remember. Let me look and see if I saved that pic. I usually do.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail things. I just
No, I like
I was
pictures.
looking for it and I'm like, what happened?
What happened indeed? I did not save a picture into the folder for Infinite Galaxies I set up, so hopefully somebody else has it and can find it. In the interim, let's take a look. The small crew 3, 6 passengers, speed of 0. So good luck. Unless you'd like to do something else. I don't want to tell you what move to roll.
Are you looking at me for this? Because I'm up front?
I am.
Okay. So let me roll back a little bit because there's some awesome drama going on back there.
There is certainly.
What was Uncle Spencer's reaction to, like, he's led an interesting life, right? But not a 2 clone troopers and a Jedi on your ship level of interesting life. So
It's way more than he signed up for. Yeah, he keeps looking at you like, you know these guys. What is this? We're gonna have a blaster fight in here?
that would be amazing. I think I probably do, actually. I do mention that. Like, wow, you've got history back there in the cargo hold, Uncle. Living history. What a lucky day it is for you. I'm considering. Well, let me see what would happen. I have a move about misleading someone for my own benefit. Considering what that allows me to do. Not things that would legitimately hurt him. So I don't think I want to do that. Could save our own bacon, but throw him in the fire. That doesn't feel appropriate right now. So yeah, let's just try some evasive maneuvers.
Okay.
Which should be interesting because I'm no pilot. I've known pilots, ma'am, and you're no pilot. And it's +0, right? So we
It
got
is a lovely +0. Good luck.
a 4.
Oh my. That's terrible.
I believe it's called a miss.
It is called a miss, and this game does not seem to offer XP on a miss. We had that conversation before. Sadly, it does not, which means it's just a hard move for me. I think what happens is that you guys are heading out, and he nearly has the coordinates in, and then all of a sudden you're not moving forward anymore, Dodd, as you are caught in a tractor beam. And he says, okay, hit punch it. We're good. What do you do?
Well, I mean, I'm hitting the button. But yeah. What's wrong with this hunk of junk?
Then, Lauren, you're the first to really feel it. That tractor beam has you, and you are being drawn into the main cargo area of a Star Destroyer.
I feel like I'm quarreling with Spencer at this. Like, I am hitting it right. What do you mean?
We're never going to make it to Ifis 4 at this. If I hadn't stopped it.
So Phoenix steps up to Lorne and says, we've got to give it to him. And he ushers everyone out of the cargo compartment, and looks at Lorne, and then reaches up to punch the release for the cargo, chunk that was picked up, to see if we can make sure, hopefully the tractor beam or whatever it is will grab a hold of that.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh yeah.
That's really clever. Yeah, so you're basically dropping cargo in hopes that it will get you clear. That sounds like a really cool option. I think you're defying danger here.
Okay.
And what stat do we think? It seems like
Int?
Yeah, I could say int. Yeah, assessing your options, choosing the best course. Let's see if it pays off. Your int is a lovely 1.
Yeah.
Don't forget, there is a helping maneuver here. Aid. When you assist someone in a task, state how you're helping.
Is aid before or after?
It sounds like before, because you have a relationship with somebody, you give them a +1 forward to a roll to complete the task. If you have a special relationship with them, the bonus is +2 forward instead.
I mean, I think
plus 1 forward, then you have to do it before, right?
Right.
Oh,
That's why I was
true.
thinking
Okay.
it's before.
I'm jamming the throttle as hard as I can to provide resistance for the gun arc itself, so that theoretically the cargo will get sucked quicker because it's not providing the resistance.
Okay. So, do you have a special relationship?
We didn't call any of them out before, so I don't think at this point I would.
Okay. Somebody did. Phoenix has a special relationship with Lauren, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe it's just you don't have any special relationships, Dodd, because you're such a scoundrel.
possible.
Maybe your special relationship is with Uncle Spencer.
Ah, cool.
I don't know if it could be with NPCs, could it, mechanically speaking, but maybe you two will have to fight for my special relationship status.
All right, that is a +1, +2 from the help. Rolling 2d6 +2, hoping that things come your way. If not, you don't get XP. This will be great.
Okay, here we go. That's an 8.
Ooh, a mixed success. So taking a look at the move itself, on a partial success, the GM will offer you a choice of a stalemate, you're in danger but no worse, placing you in different danger, damage or the loss of a resource. I offer a choice. So here's what I offer. You can you can be free of the tractor beam because of your clever plan, but you've spun out of control, so that I will start a clock, and Uncle Spencer and his astromech droid have to recalculate the hyperspace coordinates for you to be able to jump to hyperspace. And during that period, you will have to avoid a squad of TIE fighters sent after you. Or you come free and Dodd hits the button. You guys jump to hyperspace, but the trajectory is off and you end up somewhere you didn't intend to be.
Let's say we end up where we don't intend to be. That's always fun.
Always fun, he says. Yeah. Yes, that sounds amazing. Sweet. So you drop the cargo, the containers just rushing towards the area where you were supposed to be pulled into the hangar bay, and Dodge, you maneuver away from the tractor beam, hit the button, and Uncle Spence says, wait, no. You jump to hyperspace. And let's take a quick bio break, because I think that's the perfect chance for, there you go. You guys have jumped into light speed, escaping the Imperials. I think we have enough time, because of it moves at the speed of plot, for at least one scene before you land. I imagine that this is a pretty tight space, like maybe a slightly larger than, say, a roundabout for a Star Trek vessel, and that there's probably 2 rooms, possibly, like the cargo area where you were, but the door was open. You, Phoenix, and Vortex were, but then Lauren, Dodd, and Uncle were up front.
Phoenix goes around to everyone and makes sure that they're not injured. He, did you take any damage? Do you need anything? Make sure you get the rest that you need. And recover what you need to. This isn't going to be an easy trip. Maybe even provide some rations, like pulls out of a pack, like, here's some rations, make sure you have a good meal and stay hydrated. And then goes back, and I think Vortex is actually kind of hurt and starts, trying to help him out.
Yeah, I do think he took some pretty heavy hits before he even got on the speeder bike. When you come back to him, he's leaning against the wall. He's still standing, but he's obviously bloody and battered in a bunch of places, and is leaning against the wall to help him stand up. So, interesting crew. He talks loud enough for all you guys to hear. It's a tight space.
Yeah. We found each other. So what brought you to assassinations on strange planets? Did you just decide to do this?
The governor was a bastard. I had made some friends here, and he decided they shouldn't be living anymore. So, turnabout's fair play. Didn't have to go this way.
Up front, has Uncle Spencer elaborated on his wait, no, when we punched
boom him? I don't think we're going to FS4 anymore.
All right. Well, then tell us where we are going.
He kicks his little, not angrily, but more like, I am kicking you, astromech droid, like you might nudge your cat. Where are we going? If you burp some blurbles in astromech binary. No, find out. I know we're going fast. Well, just figure it out. That's your whole job. Okay, yes, you do that too. And that occasionally. Just figure this out. He takes
Has to be
whatever.
better than it has to be better than where we were leaving.
Exactly. Whatever option we end up with, it'll be great. The good news is we find out soon. We're almost there. I think. Is this a new thing? Those two and you, Dodd? Not really your normal company.
On a galactic time scale, everything's new. But they've been around. Wealth of experience. You taught me to value that.
No, I meant that in respect to me. Mostly. Just me.
Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, I had more experience than you. I wanted you to value that.
Okay.
It didn't have to be a universal application.
Well, when you cut out of town after that deal went south, let's just say it takes two to replace you.
I'll take it. That sounds fine. I will take that.
And if I'm being frank, Uncle, it doesn't look like the circumstances since the incident in the swamp have favored you. Looking around the grungy Gundar.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There's some pretty good folks that are back at IFAS 4. I got kind of roped into it at first, but eventually I wanted them to do all right. And hey, if I did all right as well, then who's complaining? But then the imps got involved, and it's been a giant sandwich of poodoo since.
Because you tethered yourself to one place and one people.
Yeah.
We should started that a little bit earlier. And I think at that point, I turned and walked to the back room.
Nice. You kept turning and walk to the back room. Boom, you guys drop out of hyperspace. And this is the planet that you have come up to. So you're now in sublight and you're heading towards a horrific looking speck of dirt that is the color of rust. And then at the bottom, we see Raxus Prime pop up in the indicator. Raxus Prime. Great. It's trash planet. Luckily, not many imps around. We could just turn around and bop back to IFAS 4. No problem. And you see the little light, Dodd, when you look back and you're looking at the planet, see the little light of someone trying to communicate with you.
Yeah, I mean, I will reach for the comms unit and give Spencer a moment if he wants to smack my hand away.
What, we didn't need to talk anybody from Raxus Prime. You don't have any old contacts here, do you?
People move around, Uncle. Oh, wait, I forgot I left the room. Should I have come back into the room?
Well, I imagine you left the room and then felt the ship come out of hyperspace, looked over your shoulder, saw the rust bucket, then saw the light indicator, if that's fair.
Yeah, I just don't want to be in the same room as him because I am.
Okay, cool. Then you're not in the same room. This sounds fine.
So
he's gonna ignore the comms.
So the comms is in the head unit, and I'm in the back.
Yeah,
so
someone's trying to hail this, and he's ignoring it and trying to turn around, and he's telling his astromech to get back, get us back to IFAS 4. Well, then slingshot around it.
I think I'm going to answer the comms while while he's busy.
No, here, then here, then here. It's easy. Cool. You flip it open, and blaring over the speakers in Rhodian is this is the Unta Gunta. You must come over. Pull over. Sorry, he's not pulling over because that makes no freaking sense. He would say, be prepared to be boarded.
My ears
It's good to
perk
be
up.
aware of your surroundings. And that's to like offhand to Uncle, not to the other ship.
Nice. Great. Stupid Rhodians.
Look over. I was busying myself with something that didn't actually need to be done to show I wasn't interested in him after that conversation, but still look over.
What? You're different.
Get how that makes that worse.
Let's just ignore them. It'll be fine. We're not going anywhere. He starts angling the ship via sublight to no longer head towards Raxus Prime.
I'll answer the hail. I think I'll stick fairly close to the truth. Like our apologies, we have navigated. We'll be out of your. We'll be out of here in minutes.
Ah, yes. Yes. Now we will not shoot you out of space. You must pay the fine. You must pay the toll. Be prepared to be boarded. And hold on, I have a ship. There it is. This is the ship that you catch sight of, Lauren, just looking out of the Gundark. This is what she looks like. She's in rough shape, but that is a big honking gun that obviously was grafted onto this thing.
That's a nice looking ship.
Yeah, we should board their ship. That's a way better ship.
Yeah, Vortex. Hey, you can actually heal, right? Phoenix, you're a medic, right?
I'm a medic. Facts on the. I don't see that.
How do we heal in this game?
Oh, that's what's wrong. I didn't have the medic thing selected. I had something else selected. Okay.
There you go, medic gear. Would you like to use some of the medic gear?
So let's see. So, whatever, would we call this trip a rest, or was it not long enough for that? Because I have triage, which is during rest, or I have something in the heat of battle.
I think it's not a long rest. So if it's only heated battle or only long rest, then I'd say it's not long rest.
Okay. Yeah, because I think this is if they would recover an additional wound, so it's something that they would normally recover from. So let me roll this. It's plus wisdom. And see what that looks like. This is with Vortex.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a 9, which is they heal 1 wound or D8 vitality.
Cool. Let's go ahead and roll a D8 for me.
Okay. 5.
5. Nice. He's feeling better. Yeah, you mentioned that, hey, this ship's better than ours. He says, well, if we don't have to haul anything, I agree. So we let them board us and take it from them?
I'm up for that.
Okay.
Anyone else? Lauren? Dodd?
Oh, very much so. Clearly that ship is intended for a Rhodian and not those Rhodians. You know,
And
what
Uncle says, exactly.
he's gonna end up getting space.
Is he a bad guy? Just checking in. Is he a bad guy? I don't think he's a bad guy.
He's not a bad guy.
He's just a boomer.
I mean, he's got that going on, yeah.
He does
He's
have boomer energy, for sure.
He's a
Okay, cool.
selfish guy, and I would say I'm feeling somewhat betrayed by his change of personality from when I knew him before. That some grudges are arising.
Okay, but it's not completely out of bounds. Like I can dial it back if you want.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to check in. Sweet. So if you guys are cool with it, we just fast forward to Unta Gunta coming up, music montage, you guys getting ready. They're gonna like belly up and airlock in so that their guys with blaster rifles can come marching aboard the ship to intent on taking all your stuff. It's the standard piratical affair of, hey, if you just pull over, then we don't fire on you and kill all of you, and you just have to give up your cargo. I'm sure it's insured. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Shut up.
Yeah,
So,
you can definitely have all of our cargo.
yeah, so boom. Door cycles open to the airlock, and 3 Rhodians come on board. 2 of them with blaster rifles, one behind the other 2 who must be the tech because they've got like a data pad and they're wearing a big blaster vest. And I think, Dodd, you recognize the tech. Do you recognize you have some kind of relationship with this Rhodian? Are they a former friend, a former lover, a family member? What is the relationship you have with this Rhodian who seems to be the tech person of this encounter crew?
Think a medium distant cousin would be like showing up at various family events and ended up being one of the, oh, why can't you be more like so and so? Look at what Rhodian name goes here.
Motto.
Look at Motto. They've got it figured out. You two are about the same age, but look at
Harsh. No wonder you hate this motto. Motto's the worst.
I mean, that's just how Rhodian parents are.
You're not wrong. Sweet. So yeah, it's Motto, and Motto comes in, big, multifaceted eyes, peering around, and sees you. And it's obvious, like these guys none of them are related. You can just tell, you Dodd being a Rhodian, like they're different colors and they have different facial aspects. They're like a little clan. And they're all speaking in Rhodian. None of them are deigning to speak in Basic. And Motto looks at you and she says, Dodd Badoo. Never thought I'd see you again.
Motto, I hoped I'd never see you again. Well, looks like Mom was right. You've got the upper hand again. Though she'd be very ashamed of you for turning to piracy, even though you're clearly very good at it. Does your mother know?
I think one of the guys with blaster rifles like turns and looks at Motto like, oh wow, this is interesting. You're getting it handed to you. And she says, what? How do you think I got hooked up with this crew?
Oh, well, I guess I was born in the wrong side of the family. Destined to be the unlucky third child. Well, by rights, our cargo is yours. I won't try to stop you. And walk over and to open up the cargo bag. There's we said there's two rooms. Was it the cargo and the?
So I imagine there's like a room which has access to engine and ports and the like, and probably a hatch down to where you would have the container, which you no longer have.
Yeah.
And then the front area.
Okay, so I opened the hatch for them. It's dark down there, and I mentioned like you have to use your own lights, as you can imagine, in a ship like this. Sometimes when things break, we aren't able to fix them.
Okay, sounds like you're trying to trick these guys.
Oh, I'm trying to feint, Rich. Specifically, a scoundrel move.
Tell me about this move.
Well, I have to roll when I mislead someone for my own benefit. Roll plus charisma, and it's one of those reserving ones. Although, gosh, none of them really do what I want to do. I can cause them to reveal a secret. Someone in danger swaps places with your target, which maybe works because we're in danger. They stand in the way of an attack meant for you. So basically,
yeah, that's weird.
That is get them down in there, and lock them in, and then take their ship and go away. It's not the Trojan horse, but it'll get it done.
He's handing out word slices after soccer. I just saw that. That's great.
He's a very good dad for the group. Or soccer mom. All right. Let's see what happens with this. Oh my goodness.
Sweet.
Snap.
So you start to lead to the hatch, and I think that's exactly when Motto says, she's lying. There's nothing there. And then they pull up blaster rifles and both aim at you, Dodd, and they're going to shoot you. She says, sorry, Dodd.
Why we do a cargo run with no cargo?
She doesn't buy it. Like she's boom, it's not happening. Phoenix, Lorne, and Vortex, you guys can witness this. I imagine they had blaster rifles. Were you hiding, Phoenix, Lorne?
I wasn't hiding. I was just kind of standing off to the side, like harmless old alien in a cloak. But now I'm going to ignite my lightsaber and like stand in the way.
Nice.
And Vortex and I were actually behind like crates or behind,
Awesome. That's
equipment
smart.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
you guys step out.
I think whenever I hear that sound, I think that's whenever I roll out with my ion pulse rifle and I'm going to take a shot.
Okay. It sounds like you, Phoenix, I'm going to give you a +1 forward because Vortex is stepping out. I don't think he was able to bring his blaster rifle that he had before, but he did have a pistol. So he's fired with his blaster pistol to help you. Oh, I'll let you choose. You can either have a D4 extra damage or a +1 forward on the roll itself to hit.
Ooh, damage. Let's do damage.
Okay.
So this is 2d6 plus this is strength. And what is shooting?
It is fight, attacking the coach, close combat weapon. Okay, maybe it's not fight. What is it? Shoot. I love it. Dex.
Okay. So that is 10.
Wow. Okay,
10?
with complete success on shoot. Do your damage to the opponent, and you chose an extra D4, so you're going to roll D10 and a D4.
Okay, so there's my D10. That's 5. And then D4. Whoops, nope, that was a D10 again. 1d4. So I got a 5 and a 2, so 7.
Yeah, I think both of you pop out. They fire. You take out one of the guys with blaster rifles. The other is going to fire back. I will roll a d4. A 1-2 is Phoenix. A 3-4 is Vortex. Oh, Vortex. Awesome. And we will roll their damage. Ooh, wow. Nice. Pitiful. Yeah, so they fire and it glances off of Vortex's little cybernetic arm. Maybe it causes it a bit of damage, but he's fine. Lorne, by the way, Motto did not draw out a weapon, and she is scooching back towards the airlock, about to bolt. Other guy with blaster rifle fired on Vortex. What are you doing, Lorne?
I am going to move forward with my lightsaber, and think I'm going to cut this guy down.
Okay. Now you will be fighting. You attack an opponent with close combat weapon, roll plus strength.
Except I get to use wisdom instead
Ah, nice.
because of my because of the kyber crystal. When it's in my weapon, I get to use wisdom.
Nice. And you are super wise.
I am so very wise. So I get a 13 on that.
Wow. Did we not at the end of last session talk about possibly trying out XP on a miss? I swear we had
talked
that
about it,
conversation.
but we didn't settle on anything.
Yeah, and I think we also talked about just leveling up after a session or something like that.
Yeah.
Just be prepared to level up at the end of this session.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. That is terrifying. Your 13 is amazing. Complete success. Deal your damage to the opponent. You may choose to add a d6 to this damage if you expose yourself to their attack.
I'll just do the DA, I think. I don't want to expose myself to attack in case he survives. That's a 6.
With the previous damage that it took, he is going to go down. Ah! He falls to the ground. Poor Rodian. Or not poor Rodian. He was a pirate, and he was intending on shooting you for your stuff, which you didn't have. Keith, I can't hear you. You're on mute.
I didn't actually say anything. I just said we didn't have any stuff. I just mouthed it. Didn't need to unmute for that. Yeah, but I realized.
So I think as we see, what was her name? Motto. Motto is headed back. I turn to Vortex and I say, they're going to flank.
He's aiming.
Like
he's going to shoot her. He's going to shoot her.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a question.
I'm like, right.
You have to stop.
I'm like, they're going to flank us like an Ambara.
Oh, sweet.
Why would I bother with stopping him? I'm fine with that. I'm going to try and rush her, stay out of his line of sight, but, get past her to block her exit.
Okay.
Is she only one of them still standing?
She is. They came in with 3. She's trying to run away. She just got shot in the back and falls to the deck. She's trying to crawl forward. Her left arm appears useless. She dropped her data pad. She's just trying to get on the other side of the airlock.
I'm going to go over, roll her over and say, all I wanted to do was lock you in the cargo hold for a little while and steal your ship. And now look what happened.
Is that an option still?
I'm going to look up at Phoenix and Vortex. It's out of my hands now, cousin.
Please, just lock me in the cargo hold.
And I will, despite familiar relations, I feel like Phoenix might have some other use. So I will bow to his judgment.
This ship isn't big enough to have a escape pod or anything like that, right? It's pretty small.
No, it's the size of an escape pod in some places.
I was going to say, I kind of like the idea of dropping her off on Roxas Prime, but we're in a hurry. I'm just going to patch her up, lock her in a storage closet, say we'll come back for you
Cool. You
But I
start to
am
patch her
going
up, and she
to-
says, "Wait, there's more on board. There's more on board." See, if you killed me, you wouldn't know that. You guys would probably die. You owe me. You should pay me, honestly. Like literally, you should pay me some credits since you're obviously going to abandon me in this terrible,
if we
terrible,
leave you
ugly
alive,
ship.
if we leave you alive, which we were going to do before you shared this information with us, you should radio and say that you've got the ship and you need them to come across.
Nice. I think I would like to see you defy danger with charisma, using her as your implement to try to convince these guys to come over.
Fantastic. Anyone want to help? It's okay.
No, as a general rule, yes, but I'm trying to think of
I mean, you could have some Rhodian like insight or language stuff. Like you can make sure that she's not trying to trick you by saying something sneaky in Rhodian.
yeah, that makes sense because I will understand whatever she's saying to them in Rhodian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, Anesh. That's good.
Right. Like other people might understand the words, but you have a fine understanding of the connotations, the phrasings.
Just like reminding her that you will understand what she's saying.
Like,
Perfect.
no, I hope you make sure to use the appropriate plural tense when you're notifying that you're like.
Cool. Take a +1 and roll plus
Okay.
cha, which for Phoenix is 0. So you're just rolling 2d6 plus 1. Good luck.
That's right. That's a 10.
That
eight got
Thank
me
goodness for
there.
that +1. Pushed
Yeah.
you over the edge. She says, everything's fine. We're all fine here. A lot of stuff to carry. Boar pulled something. Send over a few more guys. Need some help. Really good stuff. And it's all legit. And you hear another person call back in Rhodian. All right. Her grammar is passable. Exactly. She pluralized. She dotted T's and crossed I's and stuff. All right. So 2 more Rhodians are going to be coming across. They've left behind the pilot. She informs you, yeah, the pilot's going to stay behind. But this is it. This is the captain and his brother.
Do we space them? It's your choice.
So you're thinking like, what is the actual plan? I mean, I don't have any. I don't care what happens to them. If that's the question, I'm just wondering what your
no.
plan.
My question to Motto is, do we space them, or do you want them to be left?
Oh, no, you can kill them, she says.
And I look over at Dodd.
I just shake my head like. So you want none of your crew left?
Oh, I just rolled on my entire crew. They'll kill me if they find out.
Whereas your mother will be much more forgiving.
Yes. She's family. These guys are like, oh, we're a found family. Oh, we're a clan.
When she says she's family, I'm going to say, so am I, and smack her across the head with the butt of my
nice. Oh!
And knock her out.
Yeah, she passes out.
I'm glad we've had this debate over whether to spare the lives of pirates who would have murdered us. Let's get this over with.
Airlock door opens up and they're gonna come tromping in here. What's your plan? You had like a minute or so to figure this out before they come over. They're not armored up, but they do have blaster rifles.
Don't we just like gun them down when they come?
Straight
Sounds
ambush,
awesome. It's a straight up ambush. Give me just defy danger to whoever wants to lead it, and that'll just kind of gloss over our fight, as it were.
Feel like this is Phoenix.
Okay. I was gonna say, let's see who rolls. Okay. Defy danger with what did you say?
You tell me, what do you think it most appropriately measures how you are fending borders or getting a surprise attack on these guys?
Yeah, I think this is going to be plus wisdom, setting up, so that they don't realize that this is an ambush until they come across, setting up something that's expensive, so they head straight towards that, so we can get behind them and get the drop on them. Yeah.
I assume the only expensive thing is the astromech droid.
Okay, so let me roll that. Ooh, that's a 13.
Wow. That it just happens. Like you get the drop on them, Phoenix and Vortex. I imagine neither of you have compunctions about taking out pirates. So yeah. Blah, 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 blah. We cut it back and we just see the flashes of blaster fire. And then do we see Dodd like shoving Motto into the cargo hold, closing it?
Yeah, I think it's just tossing her down. Like,
Thanks for letting me live. I'll see you at the next family reunion.
And I think Phoenix is kind of sidles over next to Uncle Spencer and leans over and says, "Now we have 2 ships."
Yeah, says. Yeah, let's Rich can't think of the term, but like he wants to take both.
kind of.
He wants to couple them together.
Couple them. Yes, that's what he wants to do.
We can put the new ship where the cargo container used to be.
Like get the Gundark, and it's like this ship is it's old reference to my buddy CR in college ran a D6 Star Wars game. We ran into a Rhodian pirate crew, and they named their ship the Going Somewhere. So it's the Unta Gunta. It's a very bad joke. I can't resist it. I throw it in. There have been several Unta Guntas in Star Wars Saturdays, spread out over 6 years, so no one knows, but you guys know now. So the Unta Gunta is now yours, and you've coupled it with the Gundark, and you guys take off, and there's no smooth sailing to yes.
The pilot.
Oh right, yeah.
Maybe.
How do you deal with the pilot? He's
I mean,
not going to be. He realizes, oh, I'm screwed. So
I mean,
he's not.
How are we set up for pilots? Is what I'm wondering. I feel like one of you was a good pilot. Spencer can fly. Do we need another pilot? Do we trust this guy? If we say, do you want to join a new crew? It's us.
I like the idea of taking the pilot and saying, "Hey, we've killed everybody else," so that provides cover for Mado, right? We've killed everybody else. You're the only one that's left. We don't want to have to kill you, but if you make us, we will. And then put them in the Unta Gunta's cargo hold, right? Lock them in.
After they fly, or you feel comfortable that
I think
will
once
fly
we have
one
it coupled, I think once we have it coupled, I don't think it'll be that difficult.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Instead of a cargo hold, I like the idea of we put them in the airlock. So basically, one way leads to us, and one way leads to space. So
I like it. It's pretty mean.
Well,
I'm not saying they deserve less than mean. Just it is influential.
It's logical and effective, just like you'd expect from a clone trooper.
it's not my first rodeo.
It's funny that they expect to know everything by your second rodeo, right? Like, you gotta have it all down by then.
It's pretty much, yeah. You have one rodeo to figure this stuff out. If you haven't figured it out during this rodeo, we have no sympathy for you.
It's only my second rodeo. You should know this.
There aren't a whole lot of rodeos that happened. You better learn it all in the first one. Awesome. I'm gonna like the rodeo. I just that amuses the heck out of me. I appreciate you pointing that out. Come out of hyperspace, and you see the white and blue planet before you. There are other planets strung along. This is the it's the system, and it's if it's 4, so easy enough. This is not a heavily populated system, and you can head to Ifis 4 before long. Your pilot, you come down in, it's all kinds of cold air whipping across the coupled ships. Uncle would suggest going to land near his little mining area, but if you want to do a once over for the area with the Imperial facility, you can.
I'm in the Unterguta because 2 reasons. Very avaricious about it and wanting to check it out, make an inventory of it, get to know my new ship. Also, I think it's probably got some Rhodian modifications that are nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to give Uncle the cold shoulder, hoping that he will notice and not being on the same ship as him.
Who is on the Gundark then? Any of you? Or is it just him by himself?
I think Vortex and I are on the Gundark, and we're gonna use imaging equipment to see if we can get a better view. Like, he provided us with a basic map, but I think we're gonna try and get updates to what's going on just to get the lay of the land.
Cool. That sounds like you're trying to analyze.
Ooh, perfect.
Oh,
I'm guessing
where?
that's plus int.
Question?
Sorry.
Which ship is Lorne on?
Oh, yeah, I want to know that too.
I think I'm with Dodd.
I think I'm asking you about, like, how different are you from you when you were young, and like, do you think you're still the same person, or does age change you? That, and like, for you, it's probably very clearly I'm actually asking about Uncle Spencer, but using you as a surrogate to give me answers I don't want to ask him about.
Yeah. We all change with experience, and we should strive to continue to change and grow as we age.
Seems like a betrayal, if not of those you used to know, then who you used to be.
If those you used to know want for you to remain the same, then they are the ones betraying you.
Annoyed teenage style grunt. Go back to whatever we are doing to pass the time, playing I forget the name of the card game.
Savik.
Yeah. Which I feel like you beat me at almost every time. It just and criticize my impulsive playing.
Maybe I think it's like I sometimes beat you, but I'm also less focused on the game. Like I think I'm doing the thing where I'm trying to like illustrate parables with how I
Okay.
play the game, which you obviously don't pick up on, and I'm just like patiently trying and like speaking while I'm playing and trying to make parallels between the two, and you're just playing to win. So it's like sometimes I win with a very clever play, and sometimes I just lose because I'm not trying to win.
It's very cool. All right. Let's get some useful information then, so we don't die with Phoenix analyzing if it's 4.
Well, it sounds like you wanted to analyze things, Phoenix, correct?
Sure. Yes.
All right.
So let me roll that. That's plus wisdom. My wisdom is a 1. That is a 4.
Okay. So, A4. I think what I'll do is go with the old ask a question, be prepared for the worst.
What here is not what it appears to be.
Oh, yeah. Remember how Uncle told you guys that all the imps left the facility? Well, either he was mistaken or they've come back because there are defenses set up and they're aware of you. In fact, they're hailing you. What do you do?
I'm going to get on the comms to Dodd and say, we're being hailed from the facility and it's on an Imperial channel. You want to talk to him?
Of course.
We have captured pirates we could deliver to
Exactly the
them.
light of thought. I was thinking we've captured a known assassin and brought him back for the reward.
Vortex will look at you, Phoenix. His brother, he knows this has got to be fake, but he still needs to check in.
And I'll be like, it's okay. And I'm going to open up the comm, but I think I have a private line to Dot as well, so I'll coach you on any of the, Imperial, what's the word? Methods that you would need to talk to them about.
Oh, like their protocols on how to. Okay, nice.
Imperial
nice.
protocols. That's exactly it. Thank you.
Thank you for the +1 on that. I appreciate it before we even ask. Because last time I did this, I got snake eyes. Do you have a +10 maneuver that you could engage for this? Once bit, twice shy. I'm going to try to feint the Imperials and mislead them for my own advantage.
Hey, the move results for that one might actually be appropriate now.
Well,
Might be, not all of them. I think feint needs another touch up. It's a pretty cool idea, like a nugget for a move, but I think the options aren't fully there yet, maybe.
It's not as applicable as you'd think. Oh, actually, I got an 11 because I forgot to add the +1 of helping, but still.
No, it's a 10.
I mean, fine.
Screw you. Oh, man, it's snowing out. I just looked at my second screen and see that it's snowing outside. Awesome. By awesome,
You have
I mean,
a video feed from the outside on your second screen, or how did you notice that from your second?
I have a window,
Okay.
and then I looked at the second monitor, and I looked out the window at the same time, and I see flakes of snow coming down. That's why. Sorry.
Picturing
Yeah.
you in your bunker with the cameras all around, like, looks like down into the kitchen.
Oh, man, so tempted to do that, but nope, that's not how it's set up right current.
The third monitor, aka the window.
Awesome. With a feint on a 10 plus, let's see what you get out of it.
3 reserve.
3 reserve. And so you come back. They're asking, what are you doing here? Identify yourself. This is a secure area. Are you from that mining colony? Are the general questions that are thrown your way? What do you do?
I mean, unless Phoenix coaches me otherwise on it, like I am mostly truthful. Like, this is Badu, captain of the Unta Guta. Mostly true. We were recently on Makante, and we have captured the known criminal Vortex, and we've come. Gosh, what do you think, Phoenix? Better to claim reward or do our duty for the Empire? Like, which will they buy more?
I coach you with, okay, if you just come right out and say, hey, we just want your money, they're going to come at us with an aggressive stance. So what you need to do instead is say these words, let's do our duty to the Empire so everyone benefits. That's the code speak they need to know that they, that we're looking for money, and it's not as aggressive, so they won't come after us.
Sounds good. Yeah, we're doing our duty for the Empire so that all of its citizens may benefit as befits them. And also, while we're talking, please reveal a secret to me.
Ooh, nice. Let's see. Now Rich has to think of a way that this conversation reveals the secret.
I was picturing that the person on comms is like relieved because it was a big screw up that somebody's on the hook for, that Vortex got away, and like in their relief reveals a little too much about either the inner workings of the Empire or the aftermath of the assassination or something like that.
Ooh, that's interesting. Yes. Oh, that will be excellent. And the secret that they reveal is that Makim Tay is on the border of open revolt. So putting this assassin on trial will help to restore the peace. That is the secret that she said too much. Thinking, oh yeah,
rebellion. If he escapes or gives an inspiring speech over the holovid or something like that, it would be very bad for them.
Vortex is thinking, I don't do speeches. Somebody needs to write a speech, and you can perform it. Yeah, you can do the speech there, Phoenix. They'll think you're me. It's fine.
I have some ghostwriting credits. You obviously wouldn't know who I was writing for. That's kind of the point. But I have done some very good work for other people's speeches. You don't need to be
take it under advisement.
Anyway, how do you feel about pretending to be manacled?
Sure.
Quite well.
Oh, he's like, yeah, sure. As long as I I know I can get out of them. Like, I'll just practice it. It's fine. You think I'm afraid of some manacles?
Have Phoenix do it because Phoenix knows what's what.
My whole life has been manacled.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing the next part of it is we want to land, right? So we got to land and then further hoodwink the imps.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Sweet. So you guys plan on landing in the station, like you're just going to fly right up in. This awesome and bold and fantastic.
So let me ask a leading question. Do you plan on flying in the Gondark or the Untabunta or both?
I feel like if we well, I mean, you tell me. I feel like if we separate, that might be suspicious, or we might have to be stealthy about it, so they're not like, "Hey, why did you do that?" But it would be nice to be in two separate locations, probably, so we can do any kind of pincer maneuver or like, well, we're distracting them. You go look in the ruins for. I forget why we wanted to go to the ruins. As Keith, I just because it was cool, but I'm sure the characters had a motivation.
Just as a reminder, Uncle wants to blow the Imperial facility up. He doesn't care about what's in the ruins. He just wants to get the imps off the planet. And he thinks, hey, if we blow this thing up, then they won't come back. Probably not correct, especially now that there are a bunch of Imperials there. So that failed analyze roll has kind of screwed his plan.
Okay.
So, I could see two things. Either if you want to try and get some of the Imperials off, we could put them on high alert and say that Vortex has taken over the ship and is headed off. That's a different plan. And they would all, run after him while we look for our stuff on the Untabunta. Or we could I think we can separate. Back in the day, there used to be ships that the Jedi used that had a different thing for hyperspace. So if we land with this crappy Untabunta ship, they would think, oh yeah, the thing without any weapons that's in orbit is like a booster for them.
A hyperspace ring, I think it's called.
Yeah. So it's your choice. But I don't think, Phoenix doesn't think that there's any benefit to having two ships because the, the Gundark is going to be useless in a fight, especially without Lorne. It's just going to be there. But if we land with the Unta, it definitely is a different ship than what took off and helped Vortex escape.
So it's a lot of good information. I was thinking then like we probably want to land the Gundart because the Unta could shoot stuff out of the sky if we come to that. But yeah, in other ways, it makes a lot more sense to land that and leave the Jurenji Gundark in orbit.
Yes, if you left the Unta in orbit, they would be able to detect the weapon systems and would know something's up.
Okay. So another good reason to land it. So do we I mean the chasing is kind of fun, but then wouldn't they be chasing the Gundark at that point? And it wouldn't
I think you
Can
have
I
yeah.
can I put in like just a player perspective? We have divided the player characters between the ships. So if only one ship is going in, then we will only have some of the PCs in the Imperial base.
Dodd, you and Lauren are on the
Unta.
Unta.
Mhm.
Right. So Phoenix and Vortex will join you before we land. So we're not divided. Yeah. That's the plan. Yeah. And Phoenix says if we make a run for it now, chances of success, we would have to basically lose the Gundark and whoever flew it because Imperials are going to catch up with them. It's a much more costly plan.
So what plan is Phoenix leaning towards?
Oh, we should land with the Unta and Vortex and see how far we can get into the facility as bounty hunters.
Okay. Take everyone down for our numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. We'll just do that.
Yeah, sounds good. The option I was going to throw out is Uncle will be like, "Oh, I'll just take the Gundark. You guys could do your thing. That sounds great. I'll just head back to the mining colony." But this is more amusing and dangerous for him, so let's do it this way. It's great. Good plan. You guys bring down the coupled ships into the facility. So what I've done is you can see a picture on the character keeper of what is above ground. There are docks on the left-hand side here, this huge geodesic dome, a commerce sector, and then evidently this is the part of the comm tower. They do have some turbo lasers on top here. You guys bring the ship in and land in the docks, and it is Imperial design, so very space opera. It is large. You come in, you see that there are these racks. I don't know if you guys have seen Force Awakens, but I love the way they showed how the TIE fighters were stored there, and people could just like walk along these catwalks and like drop in those and get moved out. So I imagine there's about 8 of the racks with several squads worth of TIE fighters. They're all docked and spick and span clean. I guess bring in, I think the coupled ships aren't exactly both at the same level, so maybe it is the Gundark that's up on top a little bit. Bring the Unta, and there is a small squad of stormtroopers with an Imperial officer standing outside to meet you guys. They want to remand this guy to custody. He is a valuable asset.
Can I roll back just a little bit, Dodd?
Of course, you can roll back.
So I think what we do instead of putting him in cuffs is I'm going to trank him so it looks like he's dead. And we'll just drag a body out, drop it off, and say, you know, he's not going to be a trouble with you anymore.
Okay. I
Yeah.
mean, if he's fine with it,
I mean, that doesn't put he'll wake up later. It means he doesn't go into a prison cell. He might go into a morgue, or they might just take pictures of him and toss him in the trash. Who knows? So,
Oh,
he's okay with these options.
well, um, I think our side of it is we'll have to grab the body wherever from the morgue or for something else. We'll collect our bounty and then um say, we want to spend it in your, you know, officer's lounge or something like that. We want drinks or gambling or something like that. And then we can use that as a cover to go down into the temple.
All
this
right.
is this is great. I think you guys are defying danger here. Who wants to lead the plan?
Real quick, let me check to see if I can spend a reserve on this.
Yeah, you certainly
So-
can if you can come up with Benny from it.
So at this point, how much has happened? We've drug his lifeless seeming body out. Rich, tell me how far we're in before we're doing the inflection point here.
We can roll back a little bit if you guys have a plan. That's exciting to me.
Actually, could I roll back a little bit because I'd like to do my reserve thing.
Oh yeah, restore your reserve. That would be a really smart, cool idea.
Yeah,
Should do that.
and I think this is while Phoenix and Dodd are like planning and hashing all of this out. Lorne is like sitting cross-legged in the back of the Unta and I'm going to light some of my Phallic incense, which gives me +1 on my thing, on my restore reserve, whatever it's called, build reserve.
Sorry, we keep stopping and starting on where we're at. I apologize. I feel like we are near to having something settled.
Yeah. I got a 9, so I get 1.
Dang, that's it.
Yeah. Yep. I need
Move.
I need a complete success to regain 2.
I wish there was like a trade out you could do.
Yeah, but this is where we are.
Okay, it is exactly where we are. A fine point.
Yeah, something like spend a hit point or whatever many to
Yeah.
roll up.
You rolled a 9. If I can figure out a way to help you that costs something. Oh, I know. I'm going to give you a use of the medic gear to help you relax. This is part of me passing out the orange slices towards the beginning. So that'll be the aid. It will cost me part of my medic gear, but it will get you 2 back.
Thank you.
Yep.
Nice. It's true. Oranges are canon in Star Wars Saturdays. So enjoy.
So I'm trying to figure out one of the things I can do with Feint is someone in danger swaps places with your target. My target was the Imperials were in danger. Like, I'm not sure that's the whole sense. I'm not sure. Like, what is
when it says someone, it feels like it's intended to be one person.
So let me toss out a possibility. With your feint, you could use and swap out one of us, Vortex, with an Imperial. Vortex puts on a Stormtrooper outfit.
that sounds like you very narrowly threaded that move to make it useful.
It's one of the many wonderful things about playing with Steven is his skill set in maneuvering oddly crafted moves. I like it.
That's exactly what they literally swap. They're literally swapping places.
So that's part of the plan that we came up with was we knock out Vortex, but he will wake up as they drag off the body. He will overpower one of the troopers and take his place, so that he will now be dressed up in disguise as a stormtrooper.
And we can
Okay.
meet up at the aforementioned cantina where we're spending our bounty, and one of the troopers comes over, and we're buying drinks for him, hoping that it is actually Vortex and not some random trooper.
Okay, cool. You guys have elided that threat with a clever use of move, and I will drop into the Imp Research Facility tab, the full Tigers facility pick. There you go. So I imagine that you are in the commerce area, also known as the Commerce District. There is a PX and also an area where you could purchase a little bit of extra food, better than the things that are the default of Imperial foodstuffs. And a stormtrooper comes up to you guys. You recognize his voice sounding just like Phoenix's as he asks if you're enjoying your meal. He still has the helmet on because how did that stormtrooper? So yeah, I guess you just messed with the codes, and they think that this regular ass stormtrooper is now Vortex. Wow.
I think they just basically not necessarily swap the codes. I think they just swap body. Now there's a body in a bag, and if anyone happens to check, they might be alerted to it or anything like that. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So wow, we have been breezing through this. This is amazing. I expected more time had passed, but this is great. Okay. So where you are at current is on the top side. You're able to look out on the vast icy terrain, and the stormtrooper who isn't a stormtrooper, Vortex, has some what are those rods called? The little things the Imperials have in their like pockets that allow them to
ID chits?
maybe
Doesn't sound quite right.
no. Imperial code cylinder. Oh, my Google flu is so strong. Yeah, so he has an Imperial code cylinder. I was able to lift this off of someone not paying attention. Pretty sure it can get us all the way down to the bottom section where health tech, security and admin, and engineering can be found. After that, we'll have to figure it out.
So where is this supposed temple supposed to be?
They built it. They built this facility on top of where it was located and drilled down.
Well, sounds like we need to go down, down, down. But first, we need to make sure our ruse looks acceptable. So, speaking of down, 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 one more round should establish a cover story.
I think Phoenix is going to go over. He spent some time in the Commerce District picking up some foodstuffs, like you had mentioned, and things like that, and obviously walks over to someone who over to a sex worker.
Oh,
And
okay.
we see some money exchange hands, and then they head down towards the living quarters. So that's Phoenix's cover.
Great. Well, this is a full-on town now. I love it. What about Lorne?
That's a good question. I think this is probably not playing to my strength, but I think Lorne is just sneaking around. It's like he's doing the Kenobi
The
of
hood
the Death
up, just
Star
sliding
thing.
behind. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
Jedi. It's super Jedi.
I don't like have the mind trick thing, so it's a bit precarious, but you know, he's been around.
You can create your own distractions by using your Jedi abilities to make noises off in
That's
different
true.
areas, and they'll always go. As part of stormtrooper training, if you hear a noise, everyone go to it. It's like toddlers playing soccer. You know, they all run after the ball. What about?
Every video game guard? What was
Huh?
that?
It's just a box. What about Dodd Badu?
I mean, so are we trying to make it to the ground floor now, or under sub basement, et cetera, et cetera?
It seems like it. It seems the most logical place for you to go.
Okay. So I was just pretending to, well, not pretending to be drinking away our bounty money. So Vortex. Oh yeah. So Vortex is unaccounted for, right? He's still a stormtrooper. He came
Correct.
with
He's
us.
a
Uh, so I think at some point, you know, it was predetermined. He says, "Citizen, you've overindulged. You need to sleep this off. So some time in the detainment cell will be for your own good." And you know, kind of picks me up and as over his shoulder kind of thing, walking me to the freight elevator.
great. He's just going to carry you down to the med tech area, and you guys will break off because you're down on ground floor.
Yeah. I whispered him, "Vortex, I'm acting."
You don't smell like you're acting.
Method acting.
So, let me ask a question. We had originally talked about Motto being thrown in the cargo hold of the Gundark, and I thought, oh, and you're going to leave the Gundark behind and she can go down to Raxus Prime. But then Uncle said, yeah, let's take both. And so you therefore took both. Does that mean that Motto and the pilot of the Unta Gunta are both in the Gundark's cargo hold?
I think they're in separate locations because we left the pilot alive so that it would provide good cover for Motto.
Right. Okay. And so the pilot's in some kind of holding area on the Unta Gunta?
One was in the airlock and one was in the cargo hold.
Oh, but we've got to move them off of the Unta Gunta. That's a good point.
I'm not trying to throw a roadblock. I'm just trying to say, is that a hard move waiting for me, or have you taken care of it? And if so, how?
I think what we've done is we have, again, Phoenix can knock both of them out to make sure that they don't escape and put them into the Gundark. But that is absolutely a hard move waiting for you if you want to. They wake up and radio down and cause problems.
Cool. Just didn't want to feel like I was being capricious or evil. Things shifted as we have approached the facility. Cool. I think I am interested in finding out if... Am I interested in that? I don't know if I am interested in something keeping you from getting to the temple. I think the problem is that the Imperial facility is still between you and egress from it. So, four of you, Vortex and the three of you, meet up. Yeah, it's a little like the engagement role in Place in the Dark. That is a true statement. You see that there is an area where they had the drill bit and the drilling set up at the base of the facility. So now you're underneath what is technically the Imperial facility. There's a kind of a carved out area. You're standing on black ice, like ice the color of obsidian. And then there is this now inert giant drilling area. And there is imagine like one of those mine shaft elevators, the ones that are like construction yellow, rickety looking, industrial, not made for comfort, but for moving cargo and people who don't mind a rough ride. And the code cylinder that Vortex has, just he like slides it in and it doesn't work. I guess this guy wasn't cleared for it. Can any of you slice?
This elevator is going to where?
Down the shaft to where you believe the...
Fantastic. So we're like in engineering. We just can't get past that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Are we all on the same page? Ask questions if you don't have a clear understanding.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if we were trying to get down the elevator that goes the docks, health tech, etc. But we've already taken that. We were clear for that. Now it's right before the ruins. This guy couldn't get there. How are we going to do it?
Yes. All of the montage or whatever of you traversing the facility is on extended cut Blu-ray, but this is the cinematic release.
I mean, if nobody else steps forward, I'll be like, sure, probably get anybody sliced.
The aliens elevator is absolutely what I had in my head. So thank you very much for that. And hopefully we've all can call up the aliens elevator in our heads. Let's see you slice. So do you have any specific moves for slicing?
Oh no, I'm totally poo-doing this.
I love it.
More confidence than skill, I think, is generally Todd's skill set, is not having skill set.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what the jack is, the jack of all trades.
I'm going to assist you. Like when I see that you're a bit nervous, I put my hand on your shoulder and you have the knowledge within you. Just apply.
I think this is a defy danger. A very flexible move.
I think it would have to be. I was looking at another rollback and I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So let's just defy some danger.
I just saw you have payoff.
A move calls for you to spin one cred, add +1 forward. What
That's
moves
amazing.
ask for 1 cred?
There's a couple.
I think there's some special moves that call for cred.
I think some of the partial success ones were like, so it's not a full success. You also have to pay 1 cred for this. But then I get a little bit of a bonus.
Nice.
I was wondering, can I steal? Oh, maybe is there anybody else around? Or are we all by ourselves?
I think there are people around if you want to like double back to where some engineers are doing some work.
You know what? I'm going to try to do a thing I'm not qualified for first, because that seems more in character than trying to do the right thing.
Fantastic.
So, gosh, I don't know. Is it wisdom? It's not strength. You would think it might be dexterity to slice, but that specifically says to quickly avoid danger. So if we're strictly interpreting it, I feel like it's wisdom to resist the distractions, maybe, or int to assess the course.
I'm gonna hew back to probably more conventional or traditional styles and say that it's a dex thing. I see either dex or int as to your smartness helping you as slicing, getting around the subroutines, or dexterity being you're picking a lock, you're picking a space lock. So you choose int or dex, I think are the two.
All right. I mean, Dex is what I was thinking before.
Okay, let's go dex. We're on the same space page. Wait, that's not true. But roll it. And you got help. Don't forget. So you're rolling effectively +2.
I did forget to put the +2, but exact same thing happened last time, that I'm still in the same success band.
It's A-okay. It means that it is a mixed success. Exciting. Okay. Partial success. The GM will offer you a choice of a stalemate. You're still in danger, but no worse. Placing you in a different danger, damage, or the loss of a resource. I will give you a choice. Either your movement and slicing makes someone aware within the facility who's going to follow you, or you lose a resource, meaning as you're finishing up, some people come down, notice that you're there, and you lose vortex. Like he has to go cover you by walking to talk to these guys as you guys escape. There, that's the choice.
I am thinking about a wish, and I don't know if you've already thought of this, for the non-generic Imperial villain. And if someone following us into the ruins would provide an opportunity for that.
For sure it will. So then you are choosing the being followed. That sounds great.
By a shadowy figure that we won't know is there until too late. Because I did it, but I did not do it stylishly.
You did
There was
not.
a lot of sparks and whirring noises and erratic beeping, like, I got it, guys, and gently hissing and smoke's coming out.
Yep. Yeah, we cut to a couple of troopers, not stormtroopers, but like big people in Imperial drone. They're watching. They get a couple of notes in the command center, and then we see a shadowy figure say, "I'll investigate," and then they leave and will be revealed at a later time. And they are not at all a generic Imperial person. Sweet. And looking at time, I think what happens is you guys get onto the elevator. Did Uncle stay in the cantina? Or do you want Uncle down here in the ruins with you?
I was not clear if he stayed on the grungy Gundark or where on earth he was.
He would happily stay on the grungy Gundark.
Although,
if that is an opportunity.
I don't know that we would trust him with that.
I think it's more fun if he's in the cantina. That feels like something fun to just cut back to as he's sitting there drinking and trying to maintain a facade.
Yeah, and
Imperial cantina.
Enough to not fly off with our potential hostages / security risks.
Awesome. Sweet. So you guys are on the elevator heading down, and I think we get just a bit. The labyrinth that you head to is carved into the icy surface. Its walls made of mysterious black ice that seems to absorb and amplify the malevolent energies of the dark side. The architects who designed this place with devious intent seem to want to entice you deeper, but perhaps only so that it can destroy you or change you utterly. And with that, we see you guys, the elevator comes to the end, and a couple of halogen lights. You see over your shoulders, you're able to see the entrance to a dark labyrinth. And we will explore that in next session. But I do have one little reveal in our basic and special moves, just as a warning. If you look off to column H, you will see the labyrinth move modified for Infinite Galaxies. Woohoo! So we will kick off next week with engaging the labyrinth move. If you've not used this before, it's fun and it's a neat way to engage lots of fun and interesting ways. And it's going to be exciting. So let's do our end of session questions for experience points. There it is. Did everyone trigger at least one drive?
2.
Nice. All right. 1 XP for everyone. Did everyone trigger at least one relationship? I definitely know the aid was happening and that was relationship based. So did everyone did we survive despite incredible odds? I think a few times. There were some pretty crazy odds. Did any of you undergo a transformation, physical, mental, or spiritual? It's a tough one.
I would say change, but transformation feels stronger than I would be thinking. Just like, I mean, my relationship with Uncle has changed my perspective on that, but I don't think.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that.
And you've also brought in your family, through Motto. Your relationship with your family's changed.
Yeah, I think that should count.
There we go. Good call. Then that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last one is, did any of you make a new ally or turn an enemy into a friend?
We already
Well,
Vortex. Yeah.
Vortex and Motto.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll agree with Vortex. And
Okay.
you only need one
that's
answer,
right.
but
Yeah.
I don't think Motto's your friend. You locked her away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good though. That's good enough. Cool. So that is 5 XP. And you are passing a milestone. Basically, remember, we're doing the hand wave of whatever XP there is. You are making a level. So boom, there you go. You guys all effectively level up to 9 XP. Was somebody not tracking? It looks like Keith, you weren't tracking any XP.
I
That
didn't
sucked.
know where it was on the sheet. I've been doing.
Oh, 59. Down on row 59.
Oh, there it is.
I just saw that when we pass a milestone, I recover all my spent reserve. So.
Oh, well, we're passing a milestone at the end of this session. So you guys will level up to level 2. That's what we'll start off when we meet next week. We'll check in with everybody for your leveling. And then don't forget, Lauren. In fact, do it now. Go ahead and yep, you did it. Good job. Good job. Awesome. So that part is done. Let's quickly run through wishes.
Another thing that I noticed down in the notes whenever I was checking mine, Anters, is that whenever you get a complete success, you retain one of the reserve you spent.
Yeah,
I don't know if that
right.
happened this session, but something we
yeah,
should
I
keep in
did
mind.
get the second time I used it. Yeah, that's right. That's right. When I used the power cable, that was a complete success. So I should have kept one from there, but it didn't matter. So, but thanks for reminding.
Yeah, that is good to know, and that is nice because that's a pretty punishing. Like if it always goes down and is impossible to bring it back up, that can be a bunch. Okay, let's start off with wishes so we can end with stars. Who'd like to kick off with wishes?
I can start. I don't know if this will happen, but I want the labyrinth to be spooky.
You bet. That's a great one.
I'm going to get even more specific with that. Force ghosts and visions, please.
Wow.
Like, I feel like in Rebels they go into a temple, right? And they see all kinds of stuff, and that's where I'm like, oh yes, please, mysterious oddness.
Force ghosts and visions, please. Sounds good.
And the revealing of whatever our shadowy nemesis is.
Cool. Steven, any wishes?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm having a great time, and both of those wishes were so good. No, I just ditto. Those sound great.
Did you have any stars, Steven?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I loved those wishes. They caught me off guard, and I'm like, those are fantastic. Um, I liked I liked a little bit more action this time. And I liked how we were able to do things like Dodd talked his way out of stuff. I especially liked the way Lorne was able to use telekinesis to in order to get help us get out of the way. And it was so effective, and it fit in so well with the Jedi, you know, on-screen kind of persona. It was like it was great.
Great. Thanks, Steven. Let's see. I think Keith, you went second, so you get to go second again.
I'm loving the character moments of this. That's my favorite stuff generally in role playing, but like just the way everybody's giving the little nuances in there and like, ooh, what's going on with that? Okay. Oh, but what does that mean for that character? And I think having Vortex there has really allowed more illumination of Phoenix, which is
That's
really
true.
fun to do. And all that, especially I think like the some of us still follow the old generals line. It just like added so much depth to everything else that happened. I'm like, oh, it just really places it in the Star Wars universe very specifically. So I'm really loving all that stuff.
That was good stuff. I completely agree. Andesh, bring us home. What did you have?
Yeah, all of Dodd's interactions, both with Motto and with Uncle, were really fun. I also liked the mention of Jedi generals. That kind of clarified for me who Lorne is, so that was really good. That helped me a lot. I think like Phoenix being the team dad is just really good, like taking care of everyone, and that's been that's very wholesome, which I enjoy. And I've liked all the people we've interacted with. The Rodians were a lot of Rodian types.
Good. Cool. I had a good time. I felt a little unmoored with like trying to make sure that I hewed to these failed moves that you guys kept throwing my way. But I trusted in you guys and we figured out some cool stuff and that was fun. Um,
I have another star.
yes.
I especially liked how there were times where we weren't sure where things were going, and they were like, "Let's pull the table and see." And hey, what should we do here? And you let me roll back some of the stuff I was doing and say, okay, let's change this just a little bit to make it fit our fiction a little bit better and all that. I think that worked really well.
Good.
Yeah, I agree with that. That we got some of the writers' room vibe of like, all right, but how can we tune that up so it's actually going to work with the narrative?
Creating Keith Stetson. There we go.
I'm not in your wiki. I was like, oh wow. For
You
some reason,
totally can be. You
I
should
was
be.
thinking of cool villains, and I was like, oh, what was the name of that Inquisitor that Sathrin ended up with? I'm like, I think it was Nyx, but let me look up on the web pages.
It was Nyx.
I need to create myself. Um, oh darn, I lost my train of thought for that. But yeah, I mean, good job revising so everything flowed nicely. Oh, especially when some of the moves were confusing, and we were like, how does that fit in with what we're doing? Like, okay, it could be this.
Yeah, I feel like after this session of play, I'd love to go through and revise just a couple. It's mostly playbook moves. All the basic moves seem good. It's just a couple of like niche playbook moves that I would love to broaden so they have a little bit more appeal. Also, I don't know if it was the package you chose, but I would imagine a Jack would have more thiefy skills than what you seem to have access to. Ah,
I've
you're
got the
making it
one
work.
of literally stealing a thing, and that's where I was like, instead of slicing the elevator, maybe I'll try to steal a key from someone. I'm like, I don't really want to go back. And so, oh, well, we're here with people and I'm finding something. Like, let's just try this.
Cool. I'm gonna bring this to a close because Steven needed to go do a thing. Have fun at your parties, and thank you guys so much for playing. With that, we will stop recording here.